I never thought I'd be fighting a war over a rickety old cabin my grandpa Harlan built with his bare hands back in '79. But there I was, staring at my phone in the middle of a dusty job site, heart pounding like a jackhammer, when my neighbor Rita texts me a photo of strangers poking around my family's land like they owned the damn place. Suits with tape measures, a realtor in stilettos flashing her clipboard, all while HOA queen Karen Blackwell stands there smirking, already plotting how to turn our quiet river spot into some upscale nightmare. My blood boiled, coffee spilling everywhere in my truck. How dare they try to sell what wasn't theirs, treating my grandpa's legacy like just another flip for profit. It all started innocently enough, or so I thought, with that cabin on the banks of Silver Creek in our little Oak Ridge neighborhood. 2 acres Grandpa bought with his Vietnam pension, shrapnel still lodged in his knee from those jungles he never talked about much. He'd hammer away every weekend. Me as a kid handing him nails, the smell of fresh-cut cedar sticking to us like glue. And he'd say, "Jake, this here's our anchor, built on sweat and stories. Nobody touches that." Fast forward, he passes 5 years back, leaves it to me, and it's become my escape from the grind of 70-hour weeks laying concrete, plus a safe haven for my 15-year-old girl Emily when her mom and I are butting heads post-divorce. You know how that goes, tense dinners turning into slammed doors. But then the HOA rolls in about a decade ago, folks from the city moving out here for peace, and suddenly everyone's got to have uniform fences and trimmed hedges. Enter Karen, fresh from Seattle 2 years prior, cruising in her sleek Audi, nails like talons, always quoting bylaws like she's the mayor of suburbia. Deep down, I figured her pushiness came from some chip on her shoulder, maybe a bad divorce herself, or chasing status to mask whatever mess she left behind. But it turned personal when she slapped me with a violation for Grandpa's old shed being eyesore rustic, demanding 12 grand in upgrades, or she'd make my life hell. I laughed it off at first, told her over the phone, "Karen, that shed's outlasted 2 floods and a tornado. Your rules don't apply to history." But her voice dripped ice. "Oh, Jake, you'll learn soon enough. Progress waits for no one." That's when the realtor showed up uninvited, her sorority pal from college, gushing about prime teardown for luxury condos. And I could hear Karen in the background whispering, "See? Told you it'd be easy pickings." Rage hit me like a gut punch. This wasn't just about fees. She wanted the land for developers, to hike values and price out folks like me who didn't fit her polished vision, all while hiding her own desperation, I later learned, from mounting debts and a suspended real estate license back west. But here's where it flips, I didn't roll over. I dug in, like Grandpa taught me in those foxholes of his stories. Lunch break at the county office. Dusty files smelling like old regrets. And the clerk, Mabel, with her bifocals perched low, points out our deed stretches 40 feet farther than anyone knew, plunking Karen's precious community gazebo right on my turf. Even better, a grandfather clause buried in the fine print, exempt from all future regs in perpetuity. My jaw dropped. Talk about buried treasure. Then Rita drops by that night with pie and a bombshell. "Jake, she's been bullying everyone. Offered me $400 to snap pics of your violations. Your pickup, your fishing gear, anything to build a case." Turns out Karen had a list. The Jenkins forced out over a non-compliant porch old Mr. Harlan's widow fined for her gaudy bird feeders. Rita, sharp as a tack from her days teaching kindergarten, had files, photos, notes, even recordings of Karen's threats. "She's not Queen Bee. She's a wasp in disguise," Rita chuckled, but her eyes were serious. We uncovered Karen's dirt, too. License yanked for shady deals, house payments late, using HOA cash like her personal ATM. I wired up cameras that night, the kind we use on sites to nab tool thieves, and called my buddy's lawyer, Alex Rivera, who hates HOA tyrants with a passion. "Bring it all," he said. "We're turning the tables." Emily jumped in, sorting papers while asking, "Dad, can bullies really fake laws like that?" Smart kid, already seeing the bigger fight, for our home, sure, but for the whole block against this power grab rooted in Karen's greed, her need to control to feel secure in her crumbling world. Tensions cranked up when Karen brought in the big guns, a county inspector, Earl, trailing her like a reluctant puppy, citing unsafe structures on the shed. She struts up, perfume clashing with the river breeze, sneering, "25K in fixes, Jake, or we bulldoze it. Safety first, right?" I kept cool, hit record on my phone. Show me the codes, Earl. He squirms, admits the permits got lost in a system crash, but I track down the original builder, old Pete Novak, 76 and feisty. Harlan's shed? Built like a bunker. I got the papers to prove it. Earl calls later, whispering, "She's leaning on me hard, Jake. Campaign cash for favors. But this stinks. I'll back you if you complain." Then the cameras catch gold. Karen sneaking on at midnight, planting fake junk, tacky planters, even baggies like drug stashes, to frame me for encroachment. "Gotcha," I muttered, forwarding to Alex, who laughs. "Trespass, fraud. This lady's digging her own grave." We hit back with a countersuit, exposing the HOA wasn't even legit. Botched filing meant every fine was bunk, $500,000 collected illegally. Digging deeper, Alex finds ties to Riverside developers, paying Karen kickbacks to harass us out for a resort play. $12 mil profit projected, her cut fat enough to flee her debts. Motive clear. Not improvement, but a scam to flip our homes cheap, preying on folks too tired or broke to fight, all because her life's a house of cards collapsing. The climax hit like thunder at the town hall, room packed, whispers turning to roars as Alex projects slides, stolen funds traced to Karen's spa days, developer bribes, even offshore hides. She sits there, face paling, stammering, misunderstandings. But DA Elena cuts in sharp, "Save it for court." Victims rise, Mr. Jenkins, voice cracking, "She mortgaged my retirement for lies." And the crowd erupts, cameras rolling as feds announce racketeering charges. Karen's final flop. Arrested mid-vandalism, spray painting seized on the shed, cuffs clicking while she hisses, "You'll regret this, Jake." Small fries like you always do. But we won, her empire crumbling in front of 250 neighbors, applause thundering like victory bells. 6 months on, she's doing 7 years federal, full refunds rolling in. Mr. Jenkins' vacations debt-free. Our river garden blooms honoring vets like Grandpa. Emily's sketches turned real with wildflowers and stones etched with his words. Anchor strong, fight true. Values soared, not from flips, but integrity. Our story sparked statewide probes, saving others from similar snakes. Yet I wonder, was Karen pure evil or just broken, chasing control in a world that chewed her up? Makes you think about power's dark side in tight-knit spots like ours. What's your take? Ever battled an HOA nightmare or seen justice swing back hard? Drop your stories below. Did we go too far or not far enough? Like, subscribe, share if this fired you up. Your voice could spark the next win.